So I'm Jasmine Figueroa. I'm 23 years old, and I've been living in this house for about 8 years now. And there's been stuff that's happened on and off throughout like those 8 years. Um, well, we've heard a lot of noises, definitely around like nighttime and stuff. There's like recently, just a few days ago, we were hearing footsteps, what sounded like footsteps, and what was weird was it was in a pattern. So it sounded like it was someone trying to creep up on someone, like tiptoeing, and right after it would get quiet, it would sounded like like the pipes were going on, like there was like water going through it, like if somebody upstairs was using the bathroom. But it was really late at night, so I know that it couldn't have been that. I mean, this house is kind of old. What, 1910?
Yeah.
1910, and it has a lot of locks. My room's the only room that's downstairs. It only has one window. It just has like a lot of weird locks, and it's just my room's the only one that has that. It almost has that like they were trying to keep someone in there, kind of.
Right.
Like we thought of that, like what was being locked in here, who, or something like that. What was being kept in here?
Hi, my name is Julio Espinosa. I am 27 years old, and I've been living in this house for about 8 years. This was, I would say, maybe 2-3 years ago. So I was by myself. Well, I decided to stay by myself because my family went out for dinner. It was around 6 p.m. I was upstairs listening to music casually. I was listening to it to Joy, I remember. Then it was about half an hour. And then I thought it sounded like they had come back. I'm like, oh wow, they're back here so soon. I'm like, it's only been 30 minutes. And I came to ask them, to tell them, hey, you guys are here already so soon? But then I noticed that there wasn't a response, so I came to check. And I noticed that nobody was here, the door was closed. And I went to go check if their car was here. I'm like, their car's not here, that's weird. And then I tried to think logically, okay. I know the house, the earth is turning. I know the house creaks because it's old. I tried to think those things. Then an airplane passed, I'm like, okay. The airplane passed, and the neighbors arrived, and I thought to myself, okay, must have been my imagination. I went back to my room to listen to music. Then just a few minutes later, maybe like 10-15 minutes, I hear the same thing again. But this time I hear a big person with heavy boots walking downstairs. And my door was closed, and I could hear them walking up from down here to the living room upstairs. And each time I heard the steps closer. It sounded like they were coming upstairs, and it sounded louder. It sounded like they were grabbing onto the ground. And it sounded like a big set person with heavy boots. And then I thought it was weird. Like I thought I was just hearing things, so I opened the door and I checked again. But nobody was home, and the neighbors were already in. This time an airplane didn't pass or anything, and they had not come home. The door was still locked. Everything was in the same place. But I ignored it. I thought, okay, I'm just probably overthinking things. Then a few minutes later, it happens the third time. Probably around the same time, in like another 10-15 minutes. So probably like 6:45ish, like between 6:30 and 7 that this happens. And then this time it sounds even more clear, but this time it didn't sound like they entered. It sounded like they were already inside the house. And then from the kitchen, I could hear walking from here, walking upstairs, and I counted the steps. I know there's 14, and it was 14 steps that it went up. But this time, it didn't stop. I could hear it. This heavy set person with heavy boots. After that, I had the door closed. I was scared to open it. So I heard from here upstairs, and then after that, I hear walking towards my mom's room, and I hear somebody sit on the bed. And then I was really scared to open the door, but then I waited a few minutes, and then I opened to check. But again, there was nothing there, but it was clear as daylight, and it was still pretty bright when this happened.
Making pictures of.
Your friend, right? Was it really?
Yeah.
Was that the experience you said? What you doing?
He's fighting with
But he got scared when you pointed the camera at him.
Maybe there's something behind me that he sees.
Just close the door. Just close the door.
Lisbeth! Let's have to start over.